Hi, and welcome back to our channel. We are doing a exciting video today. It makes me a little uncomfortable, but it's really what I'm most curious about when I'm watching other van videos.
She watched so many of these videos when we were prepping for to build our van.
Yeah, and that might be something good to mention beforehand, is we did a lot of research, and so the things we've used have been well researched for being affordable and nice. But we're gonna go over how much it costs to build our van today. All of the links to things we've mentioned throughout the video will be down below. We get lots of questions in the comments, but I'd always check the description for links to anything that we've mentioned in the video. So you can find probably just about everything we used in our van build in the description down below, and you can also find them over on our blog. We have a little blog that we need to update more, but it has a whole post also on how much it costs to convert our van, and we'd love if you went and checked that out as well. Okay, so let's jump into how much it costs to convert our van. We're gonna start out with the van itself. You wanted to talk about this actually? I'm talking a lot.
So yeah, we did a lot of research prior. We went and test drove Sprinters and Ford Transits and ProMasters also, and we liked kind of how the ProMaster drives the best. I think a biggest selling point for us was the width. I'm 6 feet tall, and so we realized that I would be able to sleep this direction in the van, and that was a huge selling point for us. And so we looked on a bunch of class field apps for used vans, and we found this one, which was at the time it's a 2019, and at the time it had 16,000 miles on it, and we got it for $27,000.
And we went back and forth over how much we wanted to spend on our van. We know at one point I think we decided we didn't want to spend more than $10,000 on a van, and at another point we were like, why not just buy the nicest van possible, like we can with a loan. And we kind of settled on a happy medium. We realized that we did want to spend a little more because a $10,000 van is going to be older and have more miles, and we didn't really want to worry about having to do any big repairs anytime soon. And it's been 7 months since we bought our van. We bought it in January, and we haven't had to do anything major. And the last thing I want to mention is that we looked for a long time. We started looking at vans last August, and then we bought in January. So we looked for about 6 months until we found the perfect van.
So right after we bought it in January, we drove it up to Idaho, where we had access to a shop, a big shop that we could pull it into that has all the tools that we would need. And we started work right away, basically. That
helped a lot because we live in Utah and it's really cold in the winter, and if we would have had to work outside, things would have probably moved a lot slower. Yeah. But we had this shop that we could pull it into, and we started modifying the exterior.
Greta did a lot of research and figured out the solar panels we needed, the fan, and the roof, and the exterior windows.
Yeah, so we have a Maxxer fan. It's one of their top-of-the-line models, and it costs just over $300. We have 3 300-watt Renogy solar panels, and those cost $450?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we also have 2 custom windows. We have one right here that doesn't open. It's just a big glass pane, but it has lots of good natural light. And then we have this sliding one that you can see behind us that opens and offers really good ventilation. And together those cost about $500. And we did these later, but our last exterior modifications were a roof rack we added that cost about $250, and a trailer hitch to mount our bike rack on that cost like $120.
Yep.
And so those are all of our exterior modifications. It's a place where we might spend more money in the future, but this is everything we could need for living for the exterior of our van.
So in total, everything we spent on the exterior of the van, it's like the body of it on the outside, came up to the total of $1,620.
It's already sounding like a lot of money, but let's keep moving on because we have a lot more to cover in our build. Okay, and so moving into the interior build of our van, one of the first things we bought and installed was our insulation. Our insulation is Havelock wool insulation. We've mentioned it before, but we chose it because it's non-toxic, sustainable, it has a fairly high R value, it's easy to install, and it was also affordable for what we got. And we spent about $450 on our insulation.
Yeah. So next was the flooring. We ended up putting a little bit of insulation, not too much because we still wanted me to be able to stand up in the van. And then we topped it with a life-proof vinyl flooring that was completely waterproof, and it's done really good. And total, how much we spent on the van was about $200. And then I think next thing we did was the ceiling, and that is simply just
Tongue and groove.
tongue and groove cedar planks that are a 1/4 inch thick, and we spent about $100 on those and just fastened them up into the furring strips that we built, like going across the ceiling.
Yeah. And I want to mention briefly that we spent $200 on our flooring, and I think that was like 5 boxes of like $40 worth of flooring. I've had a couple questions on how many boxes of flooring we needed, and we needed 5 boxes of the life-proof flooring.
Yeah, I think on the boxes it says about how many square feet they'll cover, and in our van we had about 74 square feet because we ended up covering clear front to back with this vinyl flooring.
Yep. The next thing in our build was our cabinets. Our cabinets are all from IKEA. We have a sink cabinet from IKEA. We have this cabinet. The cabinet fronts are also from IKEA, not the cabinets themselves up there. We custom built those to fit in the van. And then we're actually going to install a cabinet right here that we finally got. It finally came back in stock on IKEA. And so we'll have our last cabinet installed in the van after months. But the total for our IKEA cabinets came to about $750. And then the other component of our cabinets is all the pulls and latches that keep them shut and allow them to open easy. And for pulls, latches, catches, and the gas struts, it came to about $120.
Yeah. Next thing was our countertops and our sink, actually. We just got regular, or not regular, but hardwood butcher block countertops from Home Depot, and that cost just over $200 for the countertop itself. And so then we have our sink over here. You probably can't see it, but the sink basin and the faucet we got from IKEA, and it came out to be $220 for both of those. And then underneath that we have the water jugs and our pump and accumulator. And so the water jugs we spent $60 on. They're about $20 each. And the pump and the accumulator together came to about $150.
Yeah. And that's probably a good segue into our electrical. Our pump and our accumulator run on 12 volt, which is our DC circuit in our van. But we have a fairly large electrical system that is centered on 2 400 amp hour gel batteries from Renogy that cost about $860. They were a big purchase. Yeah. And a 2000 watt inverter also from Renogy that cost $300.
Yes.
Yeah.
In addition to that, other notable purchases in our electrical system consisted of our 12 volt DC fuse box, which came out to be $50, and the battery isolator, which came out to be $80. And that basically connects our house batteries with our car batteries so that our car can charge our house batteries whenever it's turned on through the alternator. But it connects it in a safe way that our house batteries are not going to be draining the car batteries at all. And so that's really nice.
Yeah. And then our 2 other largest purchases for the van and the last parts of our electrical system were our fridge. And our fridge is an isotherm fridge. It's super large, it's super nice, and we love it, but it cost $1,500, which was pricey. Yeah, and it runs on AC or DC power, which we liked because if we ever want to just take it out of the van and move it into an apartment or like whatever with us, it's ready to go. And then our last big purchase was our composting toilet that Calum is sitting on top of. It's hidden in this bench here. And it was $750. We bought it used but brand new in the box off of a local like classifieds app. And we weren't planning on getting it, but I can't imagine living in this van without it.
It's
we
a
love
lifesaver.
it. Yeah. And so I'd highly recommend getting one. They're expensive. But it's worth it.
So the total interior cost of our van came out to be $2,600.
And the difference between the individual components we just listed for the interior and that $2,600 are little costs, like buying paint, some not little costs, like all the lumber we used for
Screws.
our walls, furring strips, random, little construction things like screws, all the Home Depot trips. But it was $2,600.
And then to total up the electrical, it came to $3,800.
With the big things being our batteries, our fridge, our composting toilet.
Yeah.
That all add up.
But we love our electrical system.
We love it. Yeah.
It's been great.
For sure. Okay, so moving on to the most exciting part of our costs is our finishing touches. The first thing we have is a 6-inch Zenith foam mattress. It's a queen short size, so it fit perfectly in our van, and it was $115. And then we also have a hangboard that we kind of use to do like at-home climbing workouts. It just helps us build strength. And it was also, I think, $115, somewhere around there, about the same price. And then also right behind you, we installed a swivels captain's chair in the passenger seat so we can open up the space a little more. And it was $250. And then the last kind of finishing touch is we made a larger IKEA purchase with like the stool I'm sitting on, a bunch of organizational bins, like the shelves, lots of random things like that from IKEA just to organize our van and add a little bit of decor, I guess. And the total of that came to $160. And then along with some bits and bobs, the total of the finishing touches to our van is $700.
So that basically wraps up everything we spent to convert our van.
All in all, after we bought our van, we spent $9,000 converting it from the exterior to the interior finishing touches. And then, like we mentioned at the beginning, we spent $27,000 on our van, so a grand total for our conversion is $36,000.
Yeah. And in all reality, like, there are 1,000,001 ways to do a van conversion. And we realized that along the whole process of building our van is just that we kind of had to ask ourselves, what do we want in our van?
Yeah.
Because you could make a $100,000 converted van or a less than $5,000 converted van and make it totally livable. So it really does come down to what you want and the things you want in your van.
And we love our van. It's perfect for our needs. It's nicer than we need to.
Yeah.
And we're like really proud of it. And we really love our van. We are so proud of it. It's exactly what we wanted, like we said. And we're excited to share it with you. And thank you for watching. And we hope this helped you with maybe some of your questions that you have as you're considering or building your own van. Thanks for watching.